Joining me right now, one of the smartest guys I know from Fox Business, it is Lou Dobbs. Mr. Dobbs, welcome back to Houston's Morning News, sir.
Hey, man, great to be with you.
And, yesterday they spent an hour and a half, the Supreme Court did, kind of going back and forth on this wacky tax law from 1867, deciding whether or not the individual mandate was indeed a tax, maybe it's a penalty. It's the Supreme Court, I get it, but 90 minutes back and forth on this, and basically what they said was, I guess it's both, right?
Well, I'm not sure what the conclusion was. I'm like you and that, Matt. I do know this, that now that we all know that there's something called the Anti-Injunction Act, and they, as you said, spent all of this time on it, common sense tells all of us, and I said this to the lawyers, the legal analysts, and the attorneys general I was talking with yesterday, why in the world would they have this hearing? Because they got 2 days of hearings already scheduled after it, which suggests to you kind of that they are intent on deciding this case. So
right.
What was all this all about? It's just silly. They're going to decide this case. We get that, and we didn't need that little preamble.
No, I didn't think so. And 90 minutes of it, and basically what it looks like is though they wanted to make sure that they crossed all the T's, dotted all the I's, and let the government know that they expected the government to kind of argue this case, looking at the individual mandate as a penalty and a tax. That's what I got from it. But today, here we are. Now we're going to get to the meat and potatoes of this whole thing, and we're going to find out whether or not the individual mandate is unconstitutional. That's what we're going to hear about today. And I think there's a lot of us, Lou, I know you and I have talked about this on your show and my show an awful lot. This is not a slam dunk here.
Not at all. Even though the national liberal media is trying to make every story, it makes it sound like, there's just no other way these conservative justices could go but to agree with the liberal justices. This is, in fact, this individual mandate. If this stands, this will take us into a new era in the role and the expansion of that role of our federal government. This is the crux of the issue. How big will our government be? How big will be its impact on our daily lives? And are there any limits? And if the answer becomes, when we get the results in June, if it is that this is upheld, there are no limits to the power of the federal government. No
question about it. All right, Lou, if you'd be kind enough to hang on real quick. When we come back, I want to get your thoughts on what you would like to see when this is all fleshed out. We get rid of the Affordable Care Act the way it is, what we would like to see going forward. I don't know if we talk about that enough. Lou Dobbs from Fox Business joining us. Our guy, Attorney General Greg Abbott, out front here, representing many of the 26 states. What are we looking at? And I've talked to General Abbott about this too. What are we looking at down the road, the end game here, Lou? What do you see as the results of this once we throw this Affordable Care Act out?
Let me first say, Matt, that you all in Texas, I think, have got one of the finest attorneys general in the entire country. He'll be a guest, by the way, on our show tonight. He is just he is terrific. The alternatives that I see going forward. First of all, this is this is the most horrid law. The cost has doubled. None of the promises made by this administration, as you know, about either premiums declining, the cost of health care declining, none of it has come true. In fact, the reverse has occurred. But I think the alternative here is to incentivize people to join programs rather than punish them and whip them in order to get them into these pools. I think that one of the things which Republicans and Democrats have agreed upon from the outset is that no pre-existing condition will forbid you from having health care insurance in this country. Both parties agree on that. It's essential, I believe. And all of this can go forward without mandates, without the imperatives of the federal government, and move this back to the states, move this to the state level. Where people, at the very least, could be moved who cannot afford health care insurance into Medicaid.
Right.
There are straightforward, simple approaches to this that make all the sense in the world. They're honest, they're open, they're transparent, and we understand the cost as we go into them.
Tune in to Fox Business tonight, beginning at 7 o'clock Eastern. Lou Dobbs tonight, special guest, Texas Attorney General Greg Abbott. Lou, as always, thank you for the time, my friend.
Thanks so much, man. Great to talk with you.